the Honorable Minister, Lady Minister, Lone Minister present here today. I believe you had another minister while you were preparing for this. Representatives of the FTUC and the International Labour Organization, Isambula. Mr. Wonder and I were together earlier in the week, and we're again together here. I wondered why. I was looking back, and then I realized that we're in May. We started on May the 1st, or May Day. As you all know, it's Labor Day, so it's probably a Labor Month also. With all these conferences and Congress meetings going on. I thought I was coming into a Roman Catholic gathering. I saw all the Brother Daniel, Brother Felix on the list. And then one of the earlier speakers addressed us all as brothers and sisters, and said, whoa, yeah, it must be. I walked in, and Nadi Elvis was cheering us on to sing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. And so I was convinced we are in a convocation or something of our priests and nuns and converted. I see Daniel laughing out there. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Nisambul Wenaka. I hope you're having a great morning. I'm sorry if I have to spoil it. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where we meet. Nabunua Abaturanga I Nabatulebu, na Momono Nadi, and the brother chiefs and sister chiefs of the various Vanuas around here. And it's a great honor to be with you at your 51st Biennial Delegate Congress of the Fiji Trade Union Congress here in Nadi. As Brother Felix, or very soon be father, oh no, not father yet, okay. Acknowledge we were with you while we were campaigning before the 22 elections, and we said we would do something, or some of the things that you had asked us to do. And as you went through the list this morning, I was asking Felix, have we done that? He said, yes. About that? Not yet. Okay, let me know. I congratulate FTUC for successfully convening this very important Congress in accordance with your constitution and democratic traditions. For over 5 decades, the FTUC has remained a significant voice for workers in Fiji, advocating for fairness, dignity, and justice in the workplace. This Congress comes at a critical time when workers across the world, including here in Fiji, continue to face increasing economic pressures, living costs, changing labor markets, and the growing uncertainties brought about by global economic instability and climate change. Today's gathering, therefore, is not only timely, it is necessary. FTUC today brings together 26 affiliated unions across both the public and private sectors. Sitting up here, I couldn't see your working uniforms. And just for my own interest, put your hand up if you are representing the nurses. Any nurses representatives here? No. Who is represented here? Hotel workers? Or you're just the leaders? Anyway, good to see you all, whoever you're representing. I wonder if you will have some time to consider guests' comfort, especially if you're going to be inviting some elderly politicians to address you, that you would give them stage accessibility provisions, getting on stage and coming off the stage, but that's perhaps not part of your agenda. This Congress brings 26 affiliated unions across both the public and private sectors. That's why I asked. And through this Congress, you give voice to the aspirations, the concerns, and lived experiences of thousands of hardworking Fijians whose contributions underpins our economy and our society. In bringing this Congress together, FTUC, and over the years, these meetings together, FTUC has long served not merely as a representative body, but as a vital instrument of empowerment in ensuring that workers are organized, heard, and are able to participate meaningfully in shaping their working lives and their futures. I also acknowledge the strong sense of regional and international solidarity evident at this Congress. The presence of your colleagues from across the Pacific and beyond speaks to the enduring value of collective action and cooperation in advancing the rights, the dignity, and the well-being of the working people. Fiji can rightly take pride in the fact that its trade union leaders continue to play respected and influential roles at the highest levels of international labor movement, reflecting both the maturity of our institutions and the standing of our country in global labor affairs. The re-election of Brother Felix Anthony as president of the ITUC Asia Pacific for multiple terms is a remarkable achievement, not only for the FTUC, but for Fiji as a nation. Likewise, the appointment of Ms. Jyotika Sharma as chair of both the ITUC Asia Pacific Women's Committee and the Global Women's Committee demonstrates the strength and capability of Fijian leadership on the global stage. Please join me in congratulating her. The government, since taking office, has acted with clear intent to restore trust, to rebuild confidence, and to renew meaningful engagement between government, workers, and employers as partners in nation building. We inherited an industrial relations environment that was rather fractured, one in which many workers and indeed many trade union leaders felt silenced, marginalized, and excluded from the national conventions, national conversations. Some of them enjoyed a night of government hospitality with me in separate cells around Suba for a night. But that's just part of occupational hazard, isn't it? Government has made a conscious and deliberate decision to change the course we had been on. We are firmly of the view that strong and resilient economies are built not solely on investment and growth, but on fairness, inclusion, and respect for the dignity of the working people. Sustainable resilience cannot exist where voices are ignored and trust is absent. For that reason, we have restored social dialogue. We have strengthened tripartite engagement through key institutions such as the Employment Relations Advisory Board and the National Occupational Health and Safety Board, ensuring that workers once again sit as equal partners alongside employers and governments. This is the Fiji we all believe in. A Fiji where engagement replaces exclusion, where dialogue replaces division, and where every stakeholder has a voice in shaping our collective future. I'm mindful of the considerable interest surrounding the Employment Relations Amendment Bill, IRAB. Today, I wish to assure workers across Fiji that the bill will be tabled during the next sitting of Parliament later this month. I can sit down. I think that's all they wanted me to come and say. And the government remains committed to its passing without any further unnecessary delay. That was a commitment we made to the people of Fiji, and it is a commitment that we intend to honor. For too long, many workers lived with uncertainty, frustration, and neglect. Government recognizes those experiences. We are determined to establish a modern labor framework that protects the rights, promotes fairness, and strengthens resilience, and aligns Fiji with international labor standards fit for the challenges of today and the challenges of the future. A central principle of the National Development Plan for the NDP is that workers must never be left to carry the burdens of economic hardship alone. As government responds to global pressures such as inflation, fuel volatility, and the external shocks, we remain firmly focused on safeguarding the dignity, the security, and confidence of all the working people. We recognize the need for a more structured, transparent, and predictable approach to wage reviews, informed by economic realities and cost of living considerations. These are necessary discussions that require balance, evidence, and genuine consultation. Government remains committed to engaging openly with workers and employers in a manner consistent with the objective of that National Development Plan. We also acknowledge unresolved matters affecting workers and their families, including compensation issues arising from the Vatukolo gold mine and the Water Authority of Fiji. These remain under active consideration, and government is committed to fair and lawful outcomes. The NDP further underscores the importance of social protection and long-term financial security. Strengthening confidence in the National Provident Fund is therefore a priority, with work continuing on reviewing its framework and governance, recognizing that these funds represent the lifelong contributions of hard-working Fijians. We have an outstanding issue on that, as you all know, and we are working very hard towards resolving those for those affected. The well-being of our teachers, nurses, and public servants remain a national priority. In the face of global competition for skilled professionals, government continues to invest in working conditions, remuneration, skills development, and education and health infrastructure. Their service is indispensable to national resilience, and it must be recognized and supported accordingly. The meeting we had earlier in the week is very, very prominent. It is prudent for us to understand what the convention was all about, that meeting was all about. We have a lot of responsibilities that we have not been able to carry. When it's brought to us in meetings like the one we had earlier in the week, it became very clear. I sat there and listened and realized how much we have not done. The advancement of women's rights and gender equality in the workplace must remain central to our national development and to Fiji's international commitments. Too many women continue to face violence, discrimination, and unequal representation, and those challenges demand sustained action. In my address to the nation for Girmit Day, I acknowledge the contribution of one young woman in 1912 that's being recognized this year. I want it recognized. Listen to that address. See if you can read up on that young lady who sacrificed so much that led to the end of the movement of the Girmitiers from India to Fiji. 3 or 4 years later, in 1916, it stopped. Part of the considerations was the action taken by that woman to voice a concern that is still a concern, not only in Fiji, but in the world today. I commend the FTUC for its leadership in promoting women's participation and advancing women into decision-making roles. Women have long been drivers of fairness and social progress, and we must continue to create clear pathways for their leadership across all sectors of national life. As we approach Mother's Day tomorrow, I also acknowledge and thank all mothers across Fiji for their strength, sacrifice, and invaluable contribution to our society. And I remind us all that the best present we can give to our mothers is our presence, to be with them, or tell our children to be with their mothers on Mother's Day. That's the best present we can give them, our presence. As we engage in labor mobility through regional programs, we carry a shared responsibility to uphold the rights and dignity of all workers, those who leave our shores to work abroad, and those who come to Fiji to contribute their skills. Government remains firmly committed to ensuring that migrant workers are treated fairly and humanely, and the exploitation and abuse, and that exploitation and abuse have no place in our society. Equally, Fijian workers overseas are entitled to protection, representation, and the right to organize in accordance with international labor standards. We brought these points up with the 2 visiting ministers from Australia earlier this week also. We're very glad and we appreciate their receptiveness to our suggestions and our concerns. We are mindful of concerns relating to superannuation and access to retirement savings for returning workers will continue to engage constructively with our partners to pursue fair and workable solutions. Also brought up with Minister Penny Wong and my friend Pat Conroy, who came earlier in the week. At the heart of Fiji's international commitment lie a simple principle that economic growth must deliver better lives for ordinary people. Development must be inclusive, growth must be shared, and prosperity must extend to every community, not only shown in data. At this juncture in our national journey, it is clear that partnership is essential to resilience. Fiji is strongest when government, workers, and employers engage in good faith, guided by mutual respect and a shared commitment to the national interest. Perhaps you should broaden the meaning of the words you sang. Solidarity forever, not just solidarity of the workers, solidarity of the workers and the employers and the government together. That solidarity will be more solid and be more, it'll be the bedrock of nations. Tripartism is not merely procedural. It is the cornerstone of sound governance and stable industrial relations. Government remains firmly committed to strengthening the partnership through trust, dialogue, and inclusion. A democratic society is most secure when rights are respected, when voices are heard, and institutions are trusted. Trade unions have a legitimate and indispensable role in that democratic space. When workers feel protected, employers are engaged, and government leads with transparency and respect, Fiji can then advance with confidence, unity, and resilience. Climate change. This remains one of the greatest threats facing our region and our workers and the world today. Beyond rising sea levels and natural disasters, climate change affects livelihoods directly. Workers lose income during cyclones, during floods, and extreme weather events. Families face disruptions, uncertainty, and hardship. Fiji will continue advocating strongly for climate justice while also working domestically to build resilience and protect vulnerable communities and workers. I understand that later today the FTUC will launch Fiji's first ever call for a national living wage. This is an important national conversation. Government welcomes constructive dialogue that seeks practical and sustainable solutions to improve the lives of workers and their families. We may not always agree on every issue, but what matters is that we must continue to engage respectfully, openly, and in good faith. That is the spirit of democracy. That is the spirit of partnership, and that is the spirit of Fiji we're building together. I wish to acknowledge our brothers and sisters from the Pacific Trade Unions who are present here for this Congress and for the Pacific Island Council of Trade Unions General Council meeting that is to follow. Your partnership with FTUC strengthens regional solidarity and helps ensure that Pacific workers continue to have a united and influential voice. Workers are the backbone of every nation. They build our economies, they sustain our communities, and they carry our country forward through difficult times. I wish you all a very productive and successful Congress. May your deliberation be constructive, forward-looking, and united in the interest of all workers. Vinawalevu, thank you, and happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers who may be here. Naka.